Hi guys, hello again. So I've not done a haul video for quite a while. I think the last one I did was the washi tape or something from Washi Wednesday. And I used to do hauls all the time, but I don't know. I guess I just kind of stopped. I felt a little weird doing that. But anyways, I have acquired some ledgers lately, and I've shared some of them on Instagram and on Facebook and stuff. But I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, I just pulled out the ones that, the newer ones, the ones that I really like, and I just thought I would show them to you guys. So most of these I actually bought on eBay. So some I paid more for than others. Some I paid a lot more for than others. But each one I purchased for a different reason. And anyway, so I'm just gonna kind of go through them and let you guys see what I've been, what I've been up to, what I've been doing, what I've been spending my money on. So this is just a little, it's just like a little pocketbook ledger, and I can't remember the date on it, but it's really cool. Look at that blue leather. It's just really, really neat. And I don't know, like I thought about maybe even using this, like, or recreating it, because it's such a neat design, Isn't that cool? I mean, it's just got, so like that would be for checks or whatever. And then this little book, whoops, this is the actual ledger part of it. And then this little pocket and a little slot for a pen. I think it would be cool if that was magnetized. But yeah, I thought it was such a neat little design too. So the ledger part of this, it does have some entries. Let me silence my phone real quick. Oops, sorry guys. Okay, sound off. Have some new journals listed, so, but I just loved the entries in this. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit. I'm just gonna sort of take my time doing this because I really want you guys to be able to see the yumminess. So some of this stuff I do plan on scanning and possibly sharing somehow. But so this one is actually dated 1872. So it's pretty old. There's not a lot of entries. Maybe like 7, 8 pages, and then the rest of it is just the blank paper. But it's neat to try to learn a little bit about people when you see this stuff. I don't know. And just the writing is so tiny. It's just so teeny. Anyway, so this little guy, I thought that was really cute. So from eBay, and I'm not going to talk about how much I paid for things or anything like that, but you can find cool stuff on eBay. Just gotta keep an eye open, and kind of, if you have a certain thing that you look for, I don't look on there every day. I don't search eBay every day, but if I have a little bit of extra money and I feel like shopping, there's certain things that I always search for, and one of the things I always search for are vintage ledgers, vintage ephemera, vintage books, obviously, but also I search for antique books, antique things, instead of just vintage. Sometimes just changing your search terms really does give you much better results. So, if you're looking for for that kind of stuff. Try searching antique also instead of just vintage. Okay, and then this ledger, I got this a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago. Oh, 7-8 months ago, I guess. And this one starts out 1904. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure this was a woman's ledger. Just because of the entries. And I haven't been able to bring myself to tear this book apart. Just because it's so interesting. And there's so many things in here that are just adorable. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it was a woman because there's purchases for like stockings and a lot of candy. But yeah, so I thought this was interesting. November 12th, contribution of Booker T. Washington's lecture in City Hall. You know, just to read some of the entries are just interesting. Haircut, $1.15. So this was an accounting, a weekly accounting of their budget, whatever this was. And it looks like a $4 per week salary, which you imagine living on $4 a week. Lots of newspaper purchases, the Boston American, Boston Post. And then every week there's an entry for Mama for board, 60 cents. So whoever this was living with Mom and giving her rent every week. And then there's tithes every week. And this is somebody who was very organized and committed to really being responsible with their money. So I don't know. I just love it. And it's just, you know, all types of different writing utensils, some in pencil, some in pen. And then it goes through, there's to 1905. So this person kept this book for like 3 or 4 years. So $4 still is the budget. And if we skip ahead to like 1906, it goes up to $5 a week. Ticket to entertainment, chocolate, a penny. 2 cents for chocolate. And then I love this entry, pleasure, in parentheses, 25 cents. And always money to Mama, which I thought was so cool. Peanuts, 2 cents. So, you know, this is, I mean, I've torn up a lot of ledgers. I've gotten lots of them from Patty that I've, you know, destroyed. But because I use them in collage and stuff. But some I just can't bring myself to tear them up. So anyways, I just love this ledger. And I, you know, there are some blank pages too, which, anyway. And I love the size and shape of this one. Oh, there's another one I want to grab. Hang on one second, you guys. Hopefully I can find it super fast. Here we go. All right. So there's those two. And then this one came with a purchase of field guides. And it was just a lot. So the other thing is search for not just a singular item, but search up lot, like vintage book lot, or vintage ledger books lot, or something. Field guide lot, because that would be a group of them, right? And so you're more likely to find I think, better deals that way. So this came with some field guides. I think I bought, it was a box of them, something like 50 or 60 different field guides, all kinds of different ones. Lots that I wouldn't use, but there was a lot that I have used. So anyway, so this one is actually, it's so cool. It's done by, this book given to the high school was the work of Miss Elizabeth Stauffer, teacher for 50 years in, I can't read that, in the schools. Shells donated by Rachel Young, niece of Miss Stauffer. So this lady had done this whole book on seashells, and so she apparently went out, you know, and found them, and she just did all kinds of research on them, and there's not a lot of drawings, but they're just really cool. I don't know. So it's just all about her knowledge on different seashells and, you know, where they came from, and Latin names and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just a really cool book. It's really kind of fun to look through. Basket shells. So, but it's about the writing, you know, it's about the handwriting and just appreciating the time that people used to take writing in script, and appreciating putting words on paper. And it's something that we just don't really do that much anymore. And so I just think it's really cool to sort of treasure that, you know. I was actually kind of bummed when they stopped teaching cursive writing in school, because, you know, it's almost like a lost art now, you know. Anyway, but I can't take this one apart either. Maybe one day, I don't know. But it's a really cool ledger. And then this one, no cover. Got a super good deal on this one. Because it doesn't have a cover. But, you know, usually the covers aren't in great shape anyways, you know, especially if they're super old. So this one is actually from a general store, 1920, most of the entries. Let's see, where do they start? So general store ledgers are fun because you just get to see like what people paid for things and the kinds of things that people bought. And usually it's written kind of quickly. It's not as like meticulous as other types of record keeping, you know, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say that, but to me it just kind of seems that way. Yeah, cash sales. And then there's, I think this is the one that has the bank deposits too. Yeah, banked 5542, May 26, 1922. So this one is all full. And so, you know, some of these I will be probably offering some page packs at some point again. I've done that before, but you know, since there's lots of pages in this one, I'll probably be sharing some of this paper, some of these pages, and some, you know, in some packs. I have a couple other ledgers that are in the mail right now that I'm waiting for, and maybe I'll kind of talk about those when they come. So okay, so this one is mostly just blank paper, but it was 1913, This one, I didn't pay that much for it. It doesn't have a lot of writing in it. It just has a little bit of handwriting. And I think I might have even taken some of the pages out of this already. But yeah, see, not much. There's just a little bit up here. And I thought this was actually kind of cool. And I used, I think, some of this in some of the writing journals that I have listed right now. So you'll see, like, it's really only writing on this side of the spread and not a lot. So, you know, I like it because there's lots of usable paper in it, you know. And I love the numbered pages and just, you know, all of the manufacturers use different layouts, and some had purple, and, you know, some had like a darker blue, or just different patterns of grids or whatever. So yeah, so this one I am probably going to be sharing pages from also. Oh, there's another page. Yeah, people had a tendency to sometimes use these for different things, like in the same book. Like they would have their accounting in one section and then, you know, something else in another section. So sometimes when, you know, you look through them, look through the whole thing, even if you think it's all blank, sometimes it's not. Sometimes there'll be another, you know, section. Like, see, there's all this writing in the back of this one. So this stuff is just kind of fun to play with. And, you know, it's good paper. Usually the paper is pretty good quality, to be honest. And, you know, if you want to know if you can use this paper in a book, fold a piece and see how it behaves. If it cracks and breaks, you know, maybe not. Sometimes the pages at either end of the book are more brittle than the ones in the middle of the book, because the ones in the middle have been protected more. So, you know, if you see that it's cracking at the beginning of the book or at the end of the book, try a page towards the center, because they've been protected more. So humidity and that kind of thing has a lot to do with it. So anyway, and then the covers are cool too. So, you know, I have some others like this, and I've done a couple of custom, or actually one custom order with where she wanted, my customer wanted a couple of sketchbooks. And so, you know, I made her some sketchbooks just out of these covers. And, yeah, I think she was pretty happy with them. So then there's this one. This one's a little bit bigger. I guess I could probably be measuring these for you guys. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can get an idea of the size. So the one I just showed you was, yeah, 13 by like 7.5, 13 by 8. This one I think is the same size. Oh, 12 by 7.5. So, and then this guy is 13 by, page size would be about 8.5. So this one is also from a general store. And let me put something under this to hold that up. Okay. Yeah, this is also from a general store. I loved it because, well, it's real, the paper is very white, but it's got this nice aging around all the borders. And that's what I could see in the pictures, you know, and just, I mean, crazy stuff in here that people bought through that general store. 1869. And it is full. This book is full of entries. There's not, I mean, there is not a blank page. So, you know, this is how they kept their records for the store. So it's neat. I don't know. I just think it's yummy, you know. And this one's in really good shape. So I think it was 572 pages or 550 pages or something. So yeah, and it's just fun to see like how much people paid for things. But there's things that were kind of expensive, like sometimes when people bought furniture or, you know, and if you can read cursive, which my kids can't read cursive, but if you can read cursive, it's even cooler, right? Yeah. So anyway, so this one, and this one I'll probably be parting with pages from also. So there's plenty of them, right? It's a big book. Oh, so I'll probably include some pages from that one in some packs. And then this guy, oh my gosh, this ledger is gigantic. I shared some pictures of this one on Facebook. So this one is like, let's see, 12, 13, 14, 15. This one is 16 inches tall by, well, altogether it's like 12 and a quarter inches wide if you count the spine, but the pages are like 10 and a half. So this one, it's not all the way full, but oh, look at the end papers are so pretty on these. It's such heavy paper. So it's this Cassopolis Manufacturing Company, September 28th, 1899. So this one is like really heavy paper. Super nice paper. And I like different types of script, you know. Everybody has their own style of handwriting, and so that's what I think is really neat about these ledgers. So this one is just all different kinds of supplies, and it's just this is like their bank. It's their bank account. This is how they keep track of all of their expenses and all of their income and taxes and all that kind of stuff. So May 14th, 1900. So this one's not filled with entries. They only go through page 40. Actually, I took out a signature that had entries in it already because I used some of these pages in the writing journals that I just listed. And then I also used some of just the blank paper in those books. But such nice, heavy writing. And I like when the user added their own columns. Sometimes they'll add, you know, additional columns into these depending on how they wanted to use the book, you know. Individual sales abstract. So this one they've kind of altered it a little bit. Sorry about the sun is just coming up. So coming over the, yeah, so I've taken 3 signatures out of this book. But man, oh man, this thing is just tons of paper. And I think it's 600 pages altogether. Yeah, 600 pages, a little bit of mold in there. So this one is the Progress Flat Opening Blank Book. Such a cool label. So the way this one is bound is kind of cool too. And they do, so each signature is actually stitched onto a separate, like, almost like a blade. I don't know what they call it, you know. But it's almost like a little blade, like a fan blade kind of. And those are bound into the spine. The signatures of the book are not. And that's so that it would lay flat. So it's kind of an interesting binding also. You know? I would love to see that actually done. To maybe try to do that sometime. I don't know. It's kind of neat. So it's like so when you take the signatures out, they come out real easy. Like, and you don't affect the integrity of the spine at all. Anyway, so it's just really, really pretty. cover is gigantic. I thought it would be kind of fun to use this to make the page 42 journal with, what am I calling it? A guest book, if I ever get it done. But since I have not been live streaming and I've kind of pulled back on doing some extra stuff, I've been able to focus more on making journals, and so I think I might actually think about doing that page 42 project here pretty soon. All right, and so I wanted to save the best for last because this book is absolutely amazing, and I'm still kind of in awe of it. I did share some images on Instagram and on Facebook of this book, but I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of a flip through on it. So I'm not an expert on paper, okay? I don't really know exactly what this paper is. Honestly, I mean, it might be parchment. I'm not sure, but it's pretty sturdy. Anyway, so the binding is just, or the cover, I should say, is just a piece of leather. It's just a piece of leather. And I can see that there's some writing on the front cover, but it's really hard to make out. But there is some handwriting on this actual cover. So, yeah, so it's just a piece of leather holding this together. So this was the earliest date in this is, I thought it was 1818, but there's some that are actually earlier than that. Like 1806, I think, 1807. Anyway, so I feel like this was a math teacher. There wasn't a lot of information in the listing, but I think it was probably an instructor. So you can see how much the cover has discolored this first page. Because, yeah, see, that's, and I mean, the thing is just completely falling apart. The binding, I actually kind of helped it along last night. I wanted to see how difficult it's going to be for me to to gently disassemble this and scan pages. And I was able to do that. So doesn't have any binding left. The pages are all loose now. But, and I don't know, I think I might, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But anyways, I just want to show this to you guys because it's so cool. It's so pretty. So I think it was a math teacher, and there's all these little like doodles and stuff. And just, I mean, look at the math, doing the math, you know. And there's all these little drawings, little doodles of hands or gloved hands, logarithms, and look at the script. I mean, it's like, it's just delicious. And this paper is actually pretty sturdy, like, kind of surprises me how durable it actually is. So, yeah, so it's just all these different, and I haven't read a lot of it, but there are some references, like, to a coal company in here, and some other stuff. So, plane trigonometry. No, plane trigonometry? Oh, it's supposed to be trigonometry. I spelled it wrong. Anyway, it's just beautiful. And they have gorgeous writing. That's the thing. It's like, just gorgeous writing. And there's all these little doodles and pictures. It's like a volcano down here. Excuse me. Look at this page. I love this page. Isn't it just gorgeous? 1824. Look at this script. Look at the script on this page right up here. Oh, it's just beautiful. Just beautiful, beautiful. I mean, there's, you know, every page is just something amazing, you know? So it's all this math stuff, right? And then, look at that. That is cool, how it came through. A lot of this, the ink kind of like ghosted through the paper. And then there's the day book in the back. So with all these, you know, people's names, and it almost looks like their grades or something. I'm not sure. But these pages, sorry about the lighting, you guys. I know it's probably really annoying. Oh, now the chickens are going to start. They must have laid an egg. Yeah, and there's one page that... Oh, look at this page. This is so cool. It's like the alphabet. And then there's like examples. I'm trying to keep it so you can see with the sun. Because I could close the blind, right? But anyways, that page is really cool. And then there's some ledger stuff. There's some ledger entries. It said in the listing that this was for a general store, but, you know, I don't know. I haven't sat down and actually, like, read a lot of this, but it's just, it just came yesterday, so I will be. And I most likely will be, at some point, offering some digitals of at least part of this journal. I'm not gonna tear this book apart, you guys. I won't be, you know, tearing this up and using it in collage. But I do like the images, and I like the representation of the math and stuff in it. It's just really, really neat. So I will be printing some of that stuff too. And I thought that I could do some high quality, you know, prints of some of the pages. And maybe I could offer actual printed pages or something to those of you who don't have a color printer, or, you know, whatever. So get some nice paper and print some of them out on the bigger format too. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to show those to you guys because I thought they were pretty cool. And yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Love you. Bye for now.